What's going on, guys? Eric here and welcome to the channel. In this video I'll show you how to use 3M's architectural vinyl wrap called Dynoc to wrap some cabinet doors to give your old cabinetry a fresh new look. I'll walk you through all the steps to wrapping a cabinet door so you can get a good, clean, professional look. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So you'll want to start off with a piece that's big enough to cover your entire door, front to back, left to right. You can see I just have my cabinet door propped up with some wood blocks there with some rubber on it to help get it off the cabinet or the surface that I'm working on. Once you've confirmed that your piece is big enough to cover all sides with some excess, enough to go wrap around each of the sides, what you'll want to do is take your back slitter knife and you'll cut a slit down I'd go about a quarter of the way down between the backing paper and the vinyl itself. Don't cut the vinyl. And what you're going to do, that's just a pull away tab that you're making. As you can see, I'm setting this up, re-centering that vinyl. I'm going to hold it down, lift up that part that I cut, and pull away that backing paper. And what you're doing is you're setting this up for anchoring one smaller part. And you don't want to do too much because in case you need to pull it up and reset it, you don't want to have too much laid down. So once you've done that, go ahead and peel it back. Make sure that you have everything smooth and make sure that when you have that, there's no fingering where the paper meets the vinyl. And then squeegee the rest down and pull the paper as you go. And you see I had those red arrows there. And that was to indicate that as you squeegee down, you want to go from the middle out to each side. Once you've got it all laid down, as you saw me do, go ahead and define your corners by just using your fingertip and just rolling the vinyl around that corner. Once you have your corners defined, what you'll want to do next is to cut away just below the corner, out and away from the corner at a 45-degree angle. And what you're doing here is essentially making 4 tabs that you're going to then basically wrap down the sides of the cabinet door. And so once I've got all 4 corners cut out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling it down. And what 3M recommends is to roll your finger along the top and side edges, basically rolling and smoothing the vinyl down along the sides. 3M recommends at least 5 passes to do that. I do about that much. And then once you got it down all the way and smooth and confirmed it's all down on the side of the corners, wrap the corner triangular edges around the side there, just like I showed in the video, and you'll see that it's kind of a triangular shape because of the way you cut your corner tabs. So what you'll do next is you'll do that for all 4 sides. Again, make multiple passes, make sure that you have the vinyl down smooth and flat on the flat edges of the side of the cabinet door. If you need to use your squeegee after you lay it down to kind of press and go over it again, you can certainly do that. Whatever it is to make sure that you do a quality install. But again, go over multiple passes, left and right, and just make sure that you got that vinyl very well applied. Now that you've got all 4 sides done, what you want to do is cut off the excess vinyl. As you can see, we're going to cut off the corner, the parts hanging off the corner. Make sure your blade is super sharp. I just snapped off a new blade. And so one method that I'm going to show you here is basically a fold and cut, where you basically cut off the excess by folding it back so that it's in line with or just below the other surface area, and then you cut along that fold cut. And the straighter you make that cut, that's basically where your blade's going to follow, and you'll cut off that excess piece, as you can see as I did there. Another method that I tend to do more often is basically I will pull the vinyl around the corner to the next side a little bit, make sure that it's flat and tightened down, and then you can just, now that you'll define the edge by pulling it around the corner there, just score straight down the vinyl. Don't cut all the way through, just score it, and then you can basically peel off the vinyl, and so you can make a good clean cut that way as well. In my experience, I tend to do it more that method because my cut seems to be a little bit straighter than the fold and cut method that I showed you on the first one. Anyway, so what you want to do is do that for all 4 corners, and then once you're done, your corners may kind of have like a pointy tip to them, and so you can tap out the corners using, I'm just using a trowel there. But if you don't have one of those, just use your squeegee. You can tap it out, and that basically will smooth and round out each of the corners so that it's not a sharp pointy tip. Now, once you're done with that, you'll want to cut off the excess vinyl hanging off the sides, and so you'll put the flat side of your blade on the underside of the vinyl against the cabinet door. And what you'll want to do, you can see that I'm cutting at basically a 45-degree angle, and that's to trim off any excess that may hang off the underside, which would create what's called a pick edge. So you'll do that for all four sides. If you cut flush, you put your blade flush on the underside, you'll leave, believe it or not, a very thin hair of vinyl that would become a pick edge that, as hands grab at that, eventually will peel the vinyl back. So if you have handle holes in your cabinet door, go ahead and find those and cut those out. If you have other holes like hinge holes or maybe a lock hole, go ahead and cut those out. And that way you have all the areas cut out that you need to. Now, optional, again, pick edges, you don't want to have those because, again, as over time, people or yourself, as you open and close the cabinet door, will pick away at the vinyl and it'll eventually come off and fail. And so one method to get rid of that is just take a little bit of sandpaper and then give it a smooth sand on the underside where you had trimmed. And then if you do, be sure you wipe it down because it does leave a little bit of dust. Go back over and check for pick edges. You'll feel them by, you see how I'm kind of rubbing my finger upwards? It's important because, again, those pick edges will, it's like picking away at a sticker, which is what vinyl is here, and you're putting a sticker on, and you don't want any edges that people will grab at over time, just naturally opening and closing the door, that will then cause the vinyl to fail. And guys, so this is now a fully wrapped cabinet face door. Super quick, super easy, nothing too complicated. Just make sure you take your time. Again, it's very important to account for those pick edges. Tutorial was helpful and showed you that it's pretty easy to wrap cabinetry doors. Now I will caveat that the cabinet door that you saw me wrapping was basically a flat slab panel. If you have dips or recesses in your cabinet doors, it'll be a little more difficult and you may have to do it in separate pieces. But if your cabinet doors and drawer faces are flat slabs like the one that I showed in the tutorial, this is going to be a quick and easy project for you to accomplish. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope this video has been helpful to you, entertaining, instructive, and informative. If you did like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and boop that bell notification button so you get notices whenever I post new content to the channel. I've got more videos in the works and on the ways that I'd love to share with you. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have a great day.